Hello folks, and welcome to our next session on accounts exports. Here we can see our contacts, so if there's any training needs or any requirements, you can get in contact with one of the team here, ask any questions. You can email in the IT training at Henderson Technology, or alternatively you can call the retail support team and let them know that you need to speak to one of the trainers, and they'll get in contact with us and let you know. Let us know that you're looking to speak with us. So handy information to have, so worth keeping a note of. Here we can see our training documentation, just links to it and where to find it. We'll be sending this presentation around after the fact, so you'll be able to see these things and click on any links needed. Again, another bit of handy information to keep a hold of, even just to set like if there's a new cashier starting the store or something like that, you can set them in front of the till playlist, for example. Pretty much just trains them up. So we're going to be talking about the different export types we have of your sales information. So we have Sage, Sage 50 and Zero. Sage and Zero are just commodity group sales, so we map them against each individual commodity group and say, right, this reports to nominal code 1000 for toxic. And Sage 50 is slightly more complicated. It'll do sales, purchases, credit accounts, tax, payouts, and tender payments. So more information there. It's a bulkier export, but that means that it's slightly more complicated to set up. It's just a wee bit fiddlier. For any of these, there'll need to be a little bit of support setup. So if you're looking to get any of them set up, best just log a call through to the retail support team. Let them know which one you have and what you want an export set up from. It'll probably take a phone call from one of ourselves in the training team as well to get you clued in on how to do the setup and how to manage the exports. Sage 50 again, slightly more complicated for the support team, but that'll be on them. You don't need to worry about that. They'll get it set up for you so you can access the menus and such. And the other two then are largely the same. We just need a little external accounts user ID from you for Sage, which would be your Sage ID. So for the first two, Zero and Sage, they're set up under our maintenance department screen. You can see here under the wee red box, we've got external accounts, sales code, department code, and VAT reference. So those information have to be filled in for each of our commodity groups. Sales code will reflect your nominal code. Department is typically always the same. That's the department of your business in the accounting software. So that's normally department 1 if you don't have it split out into more than one business, I suppose. Whereas if you have a garage and a shop next door they also own, that could be department 1, department 2 kind of thing. VAT reference then would be the user may be familiar with the T0 if you use Sage. That's your VAT code, VAT 0% VAT, whereas Zero is a bit more specific. It uses its own VAT references that are slightly wordier. So for Zero it would be VAT code A brackets 0% rated close bracket, and that needs to be reflected in there. I'll show you here if I swap over to my other screen. Just under maintenance department, I'll pick frozen foods for toxic. Through the sub department I'll go frozen desserts in the commodity groups, and I've got a couple there, so I'll be filling in these 3 boxes. So if I say 1200 department code 1 and VAT reference, I'll say T0 or T1 probably is for desserts, and then save. So that's now set up against that commodity group. And if I click to the next one, we can see that's blank, and I would need to fill that in, fill that one in, fill that one in. So there is a wee bit of setup involved, but it's just filling in these 3 boxes. Go back to So these are the sample exports then. So there's Zero, you can see the kind of information it's put. Now we've got our cigarettes and tobacco products across 2 days. How many units and the tax amount there. So it's good information that you're maybe keying in to the zero system anyway. So it just speeds things up if we can export it out of EDGEPoS and, you know, just suck it in to zero. Same for Sage, very similar. You know, there's our cigarettes and tobacco across a couple of different dates. We can see the sales code reflected, how many total sales, that kind of stuff. It's all that good information that you're maybe keying in and that just takes a long time that this could save. Sage 50 then, slightly more complex of a setup. It's to me it's just a more intimidating looking screen, but it's not that complicated. If I swap back to this screen and we'll go into Sage 50 setup. Now this is one of the buttons that the support team will need to have set up for you, but they'll get that done no bother. If I click in here then, we can see lots of boxes, pay in, sales setup, group setup, payment setup, field grid, blah, 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 lots and lots of boxes. What we're thinking about is the left-hand side here to start with. This is our nominal code setup. So this is where you lay out your Sage 50 mapping as it's set up in Sage. So you can see I've got tobacco products there. I could maybe add in, what's not mapped here, unleaded, let's say. So if I say, right, number 3001, which is my EDGEPoS code, I would always use the same EDGEPoS code as your nominal code. And I'll say unleaded, which I imagine is taxed, so T1. And its type then is your journal credit, journal debit, sales account, you can see there for SA, or purchase invoice for PI. So I'll say JC, journal credit. So now that I have that set up here, I can map that into the rest of this. So there's me unleaded there. I'll say edit, and 3001 now mapped. So if I was to do the export now, my unleaded sales would be mapped to 3001, and then if I import that into Sage 50, it's going to know where to put it. And we can see then this dropped from 2D update to 1D update. That's the only thing to really keep an eye on over time. The initial setup on this can be a bit fiddly, and it can take a bit of trial and error, but once it's set up, it's set up. Unless something changes, like if you get a new cards accepted, or if we get a new grade in. So maybe I've just started selling the super unleaded. So if I put in 3001 there for diesel as well, we can see I've only one this setup. I've just started selling super unleaded. If I click that even, it's only showing me the one I need to set up. So I'd have to think about, right, where do I map that into Sage 50? Okay. And again, a sample output there. So we can see our JCs, JDs. It's all I have on that one, but we could have PIs in there, SAs as well. The important thing I think is the JCs and JDs should all line up. They should balance each other. So if we have £100 in JCs, we should have £100 in JDs. And that's how we would test to see, right, is this set up properly? And again, it can take a couple goes, but we can export it as many times as we want, just to try and get it lined up and working as expected. Our purchase invoices then. So this is unique to the Sage 50 setup. We can export your goods received notes or your invoices as purchase invoices. So that can be pulled into Sage 50 as well. And if I swap back here, we can see, let's talk about our tobacco products. So I have number 3000 here, is cigarettes, tobacco, requisites, cigars, vapes. They're all being mapped into nominal code 3000. So if I wanted to do the purchase invoices, I need to set up the purchase code for them. So that's under here. So I've got them at 0 at the minute, so they're not set up, and I've nowhere to map them into. So let's say add 3002, 3002, and obviously I'm just making up these numbers. You'll have your own numbers to use. So we'll say tobacco purchases, whatever tax code that is then. And instead of JC, we're going to go PI for purchase invoice. And then we just map it into here. So I say edit. 3002, don't get that wrong. 3002, 3002, 3002, and 3002. So now all my sales from tobacco products are going to 3000 and all my purchases are going to 3002. If then I'm looking to export them, it's into my goods receiving screen, which we have. There's all our open ones there, but I'm going to look for a completed one. Just go back a bit and complete. There we go, there's one there, just this one for talks out. And if I right click on it, then I have the option for export all to purchase invoice. So it's going to export all completed goods received notes that haven't already been exported, just so you can suck them into Sage, or I can just export this specific one, just export that. There we go, and I've still, it's still noticing there that I have set up to do, it's not balancing. I'll hit export. No way it goes. We have a couple different options then in the background for Sage 50. These are visible to you just under maintenance, Sage 50, and we have settings there. So we can see where it's exporting to. Do we want to export customer payments? For any discrepancies, what kind of code to dump it in. So if you, like we're seeing 8200 there, that would be, you know, something not balanced or something not right if there's anything showing up under that. Any extra tax codes. When we want our date to be for the invoices, normally it's completed date makes the most sense because that's when it actually comes into the store. So you want to include drive-offs, no means to pay, and do want to export shifts, which can let you see discrepancies as well, which is handy. So that's it, folks. That's short and sweet, really. They are very, very handy. It saves a lot of time on keying things into accounts packages. But they do take a wee bit of setup. But we're more than willing to help. So get in contact if there's any thoughts, fears, questions, you know, with any of them. Largely, it is just keying stuff in. For Xero and Sage, remember we're just looking at our external accounts there, and for Sage 50 it's more of a mapping situation. So what we've done in the past is normally we'll book out some time, one of the trainers to sit down with you, even if the accountant's on the phone as well, you know, we can all go through it together, because we know how this works. As kind of intimidating as some people find it, it's really not. It's just nominal codes here and map it into these, but that makes sense to us, and the Sage setup, Sage side of things will make sense to yourselves or the accountants. So working together, we can put it all together fairly quickly, and then it's just a case of exporting all your information from the system. So it is very, very handy. It saves a lot of time, and I hope you get the use out of it. So we'll just leave our little feedback up there for a second, so you can scan that QR code and provide any feedback on this session, and if you do want to get in contact, just give us a buzz. Thanks now.